Okay, this is an explanation of the GL Entity Comparison financial template, and you'll find any of these templates are going to be on the server. So Event One File Services templates, distributed report templates, Office Connector, Financials, Development. So that's where you're going to find all six for now. And I'll go ahead and start this one up. So with any of these, the main thing to be looking for is generally what the customer experience is going to be like in terms of the workflow process, running the report. Do we get the expected prompts? Do we see any unexpected messages? Things like that. So I'm going to start with just using the sample data. Now on remote, there are a number of other data folders that could be used. In particular, there's those ones at the very top of the list that have different combinations of prefixes and physical entity settings and whatnot. So those can definitely be used with this as well to test different combinations of numbers of prefixes and whatnot. Right now I'm in the sales VM, so I'm only getting this short list. Okay, so I'll log in. Okay, so now that we're logged in, things to check would be first off, read everything on the information sheet, make sure that it makes sense and that any step-by-step directions that are being given also are valid. With every worksheet, we do have the page setup set. Not that anyone's probably going to print this particular sheet, but they could. So if you do go to print this worksheet, are we seeing the expected page heading and footer and whatnot? I know that we've had some in the past where it said AP invoice at the top or something crazy like that for a general ledger report. So just check things like that. And then you could probably start with the sample values. Confirm that, I see here there's a bug already. It looks like. Interesting. That should probably just be TS. Well, I'm not sure why that's. Looks like the wrong function was used or something. I'm not really sure what happened there. Okay, so that'll be an issue to be fixed. But I'll just go ahead and click on the Use These Values button, which should populate all these input fields for you. And then you should be able to click on Refresh. So that would be sort of the first thing would be to just make sure that, if we were saying like a sales demo situation where you just want to bring this up quickly, use the sample values, show it working, does it satisfy that? So I'd go then to the profit and loss tab. Yep, still not seeing expected results here. Why are we all the way down here on row 300 and everything's hidden? So something obviously is not right. Let's try refreshing it again. See, I thought this report was ready, but maybe not. Okay, so obviously there's an anomaly there somewhere because the first attempt didn't work and just refreshing it again did. That's not what we'd expect, obviously, so that would be something to be documented. So this is what the report should look like, and basically all we're doing here is we're showing a separate column for each entity, whatever entity means to you. So that could be a company, it could be a department, it could be a division, could be some consolidation of those things using a prefix mask. But basically it's each different prefix entity is shown in a different column with the total in the first column. And then this report also provides the ability to drill into a chart. So if I double click on the chevron, it pops me over to the comparison chart and shows me a nice little pie graph of the values from the row that I clicked. Okay, so that's what this report should do. And so some of the other things to check would be going back to the admin tab. We would want to try different values for the prefixes. So, for example, trying wildcards, so prefix masks. Then also, of course, under the fiscal year and fiscal period, rolling back to different periods and whatnot. Trying different values. So the columns can either represent the year-to-date balance or just the amount for a specific period, or we could also look at budgets if someone wanted to see that. So we'd want to try those different values and make sure we're seeing expected results there as well. And also accrual versus cash. So basically test all the functionality to a degree. We're not going to go crazy with trying to test every single possible value. But we want to exercise every capability of the report to the best we can. Also, these functions should work. Save as values is just a shortcut basically to what's in the toolbar, except it does a couple of extra things in terms of hiding some of these extraneous worksheets that you would no longer use if you saved it as values. So the admin sheet no longer serves a purpose if you saved it as values because you're not going to change the parameters now. So it's going to hide certain worksheets if you've saved it as values. Customizing, basically, in a nutshell, all that customizing does, and so you can test this out, is it unhides columns A, B, and C. Okay, and then in this range right here, columns A and B is where the actual query is at. So the query only has 2 columns, returning the basic count. So all it does is it deletes the query. The data stays, and then it's just static values. And the customer could say, if they wanted one line for sales, they could say go from account 4110 through account 4180, and then just delete those 4 rows. So they can move things around, insert totals, or whatever they wanted to do with it. But the idea is that it's no longer a query, and so when they refresh it, however they've changed it, that's going to stick. So you'd want to test out that functionality as well. And as far as then how to confirm whether we're seeing the correct amounts, I'm going to record a separate video on how to use Timberline Financial Statement Designer to get those values. That's probably going to be the easiest way, even when debugging with customer data or something. That's going to be the easiest way to determine whether a value is correct or not, because that tool's been around for 20 years and we know that what it produces is accurate. So we need to use that to compare back to for any kind of consolidation or rollback or what have you. So that's pretty much what we're looking at on this report, is really, again, just putting it through its paces, testing every feature, confirming values compared to the financial statements out of Timberline, and then documenting in Bugzilla anything out of the ordinary that we find. So that's pretty much it.